Road is narrow, the voice is loud. Everybody pulling, lost in the crowd. Some say bend, some say break what's true. But I've set my eyes on something true. I won't be shaken, I won't be moved. When the lines get blurred, I choose the truth. I won't fall left, I won't fall right. I'm standing firm in a steady light, rooted deep, no compromise. I'm walking strong between two ditches. I stand, I won't fall, I won't fade. Firm foundation won't be moved. Patience, neither between two ditches. I stand my ground. I stand my ground. I stand, yeah. I stand my ground. I stand my ground. I stand my ground. Between two ditches. I stand my ground. I stand my I stand my
Welcome to the Between Two Ditches podcast. We sure are excited to be back with you today. And here we are. We're actually out at the town yard sale today here in Damascus. We are raising money for the youth to be able to go to Arise. And also, it's a great opportunity for outreach. Brother Evan, what do you think about the yard sale so far?
It's crazy how many people's already come through this morning. They were beating us to getting the stuff set on the tables, which it's such a blessing to see people coming out and supporting.
Absolutely. I mean, we're sitting here, it is currently 8:20 in the morning, and we was planning on getting here at 6:30, and everybody was already pretty much coming by between 6:45, 7 o'clock as we're setting stuff out on the table. We was getting rushed and everything like that, but hey, that's a blessing. And so we've already got to talk to minister to, and just many people today. And these events and things like this, it's not all about raising money. It's not all about, just sending our kids to Arise, although that's a blessing. But the real thing is making an impact in people's lives. Brother Evan, why do you think outreach matters?
Well, at the core, it's biblical.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you to go to where people are. So, I mean, and it's hard to do that when you stay inside the four walls. If your ministry never leaves the church, it's hard to minister to the ones outside of church.
Yes.
I mean, granted, we all believe that God can send them in, but He can also send you out. So I think that's, this is a good example of us being able to get out in the community in a time that there's probably not a whole lot of Christian influence out here.
Yeah.
So it's a unique opportunity, but I think it's one that would be sad to be missed.
Absolutely. And that's the first thing that comes to my mind on why it's so important for outreach, is that there's going to be people, no doubt, and you may hear some things in the background, by the way, but that's where we are. So, but the first thing that comes to my mind is there's going to be people, no matter what, that are out here that would never step foot into a church. And so, a testimony I've told many, many times is that I spent several years of ministry so discouraged, so defeated, feeling like, man, is God even going to do anything? Is God ever going to use me? But here's the thing. I was always praying, God, send them in, God, send them in, God, send them in. When really, like you said, that's good to pray, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
God, send them in. We want Him to. But He never said, don't go out there and get them. He did say, go. And that was what I was missing. And I'm going to tell you, that took my burnout, and that took my discouragement, and that really ripped it to shreds. It restored the peace and the joy that I was actually missing.
Yeah.
Just by getting outside the four walls and seeing just an impact in one person's life can make so much difference in your joy, in your peace, and your happiness.
Well, I think that's a really good point, and I hope I can bring this across the way that I mean to. But when we go to church and everything, you do that for so long, and that can just become routine.
For sure.
And I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, the outreach is excitement.
Oh, dude, I love it.
It's just refreshing to be able to do something different, but still be doing it for God.
Yes.
Just get out, go talk to people, and you can tell by us having a podcast, we like to talk. So,
right.
but just to get out and just talk to people, minister to people, and unique situations, like, to me, that's exciting. That I have a lot of fun getting out here and talking to people.
Absolutely. And I think one thing that I used to believe, I don't believe it anymore, but you see so many videos and things like that you kind of step out thinking that so many people are just going to be belligerent, and so many people are just going to try to, argue with you, and you tell yourself, I don't know enough to have conversations and this, that, and the other. But do you know how many times over all the outreaches we've did and all the different events and things, do you know how many times I've gotten to any kind of discussion, argument, not even really in any debate or anything? Do you know how many times I've had to deal with that? Absolutely none. And that blows my mind, really.
Yeah.
Now that don't mean that today somebody might pull up and, have conversation. That's fine.
Yeah.
We welcome questions, obviously. But I always thought, man, people don't want it. People don't want it. How many times have we heard that,
Well, we've heard that our whole lives.
Yes.
And it's such a miscommunication on
really
people's
is.
part. And I think it's actually quite the opposite.
Yes.
I think a lot of times it's not that they don't want it, it's that they're hungry for it. They just may not know it.
Exactly. 100%. So many people are the exact opposite. You come out here to stuff like this, and they'll start asking questions about your church, man, where are y'all located, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what you'd expect.
Absolutely.
And so it's always blown my mind, because I come out, when we first started doing these, like, I come out with my guard up,
Yeah.
ready to blast off.
Yeah. Well, and I'll step out on a limb here, and you can agree or disagree, but I think a lot of that comes down to, look who we actually end up having those conversations with. It's not the lost people. It's not the people we're trying to
Ooh.
reach. It's the other church people is the ones that wants to argue and fuss and fight and carry on.
Very well said. Very well said. Ain't that something? Yeah, that explains a lot.
It does, and it explains why a lot of people don't want anything to do with church. I mean, I hate to say it,
Well.
but
You're on to something, buddy.
it's, why do you want part of what I've got if all I'm going to do is fight and argue and scream and yell?
Absolutely.
That's why I think we do a good job at, when we're out, we're smiling, we're joking, we're having a good time.
Yes.
And showing them that, hey, this Christian thing ain't a boring thing. It ain't a dull life. Like, we can have fun and do this thing.
Right. And see, like, I wanted to share this testimony. Like, last year at this very yard sale, I think it was a year ago yesterday, and there was a lady that came by, and she was walking around. We just started chit-chatting, and she started talking to some of the ladies, this, that, and the other. And we're in the background, a bunch of us, we're laughing, we're cutting up, this, that, and the other. And, man, the more she hung around, she made this statement. She said, I haven't seen Christian people laugh and cut up and have joy. She said, I want to come to y'all's church. And, now she don't come every Sunday or every Wednesday or anything like that, but she does live a pretty decent distance away. But do you know, periodically she will come to church, and wasn't going before.
Yeah.
So it was all because, number one, we got outside the four walls, but number two, we were laughing.
Yeah.
Did you know we could laugh?
I'm glad. And I have actually, as sad as this is to say, I've actually been told that we're not supposed to joke
Really?
and cut up, and it's like,
Wow.
I can't find scripture anywhere that doesn't back up the fact of joy.
Well, hey, what is? I think it says a merry heart doeth well, or something like that, and there's a good medicine. I mean, it's medicine to the soul,
Yes.
to the heart, to be able to laugh. to be able to experience joy. I mean, you think the society that we're living in, you know, it's everybody's hurting, everybody's going through something, everybody's suffering. The last thing they need is the Christians that's supposed to be able to offer joy and be able to offer hope look like we're worse off than they are, so to speak. You know?
Yeah, you'd hate to go into a hospital that the doctor's over there with his arm in a sling or something.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want the people that's working on you in worse shape than you are.
Yep. That's funny.
So, I mean, that kind of a silly little metaphor there, but I mean, imagine you was going in for surgery and doctor walks in with one arm in a sling and an eye patch. You'd be like, I'm not sure I want this guy working on me.
No, that's a perfect analogy. I like that. Let me ask you this. Do you think we've overcomplicated evangelism?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Everybody thinks there needs to be a formula for it.
Yeah.
You know what my formula is? Get out and do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Don't overthink it.
Right.
I mean, now granted, that doesn't work in all circumstances.
Yeah.
If your evangelism is going into churches and preaching and stuff, that's a different thing.
Right.
But from where we're coming from with events like this, just go do it.
Yeah. And see, I would say, I don't want to give any percentages, but a lot of our evangelism doesn't necessarily come from, hey, do you know if you're going to heaven or hell?
Yeah.
What it comes from is like, say they've bought something or at the yard sale, or say they've got a hot dog that we're going to make here in a little while. What we're doing is after they've paid or after we've talked to them or whatever, we're giving them an invitation to the church that has, of course, all our service times, all that stuff, but on the back of it, it's got the gospel on it. So, you know, they may be going down the road one day, or they may even stick it in their console and not think much about it. 6 months down the road, they open it up and read it. You know, you just never know.
Yeah. Well, you know, they might be like me. They lay it in their console, and then 6 months later, when they're cleaning the car out, well, what's this?
Yeah.
And then you get curious about it.
For sure.
You know, because when you lay it in there, you know what it is. Like, you know, well, they're just trying to spread information, but
Right.
give yourself time to forget about it, and then you find it again, and curiosity will set in and be like, hey, what is this?
Right. And I don't want to backtrack or anything, but one thing that I always thought was, you know, I needed to have this very, very deep knowledge of everything before I go out. And that comes from, of course, thinking people are going to just come and you've got to be on defense mode the whole time.
Come and play a game of 20 questions with
Right.
you. You've got to know everything.
But another thing that I've found, Evan, is that like when we go out or when we do any kind of events or something, in the society that we live in, now I'm not saying we got a pander or pet or anything, but we're never coming empty-handed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's at least a bottle of water to be offered. There's a glass of lemonade. There's something free somewhere to give them.
Yeah.
Because that's just the society we live in.
Yeah.
It automatically kind of tears down a little bit of the wall. It's like, hey, the church they're actually being the church.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it that way, but that's how a lost person looks at the church, is that we're just supposed to give.
One of my favorite things that we do, the church does it and the ministry does it, is the bracelets, though.
Yes.
It's just got the name on it.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be anything flashy.
Right.
It's just those little rubber bracelets.
Yes.
But you get those out there, and people will eventually get curious and say, well, what is this
Right.
that they gave me?
A pen, anything that people can use. I mean, it don't have to be something super fancy, you know.
No.
But it automatically tears down that wall of like, hey, they're wanting to give me something, and not just shove something down my throat, you know.
Well, and the thing is, isn't that such a metaphor for what the real idea is? We want to give them something.
Exactly.
But sometimes you got to give them something to be able to give them something.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
so, but
Yes.
yeah, I mean, and we end up doing quite a bit of this stuff throughout the year. You know, different
Yes.
things and all. So we're well versed at this point in getting out and talking to people. But that's something, me personally, that I try to do, especially with the music festivals and all.
Right.
They see me on stage announcing and that kind of stuff, and then I try to meander through the crowd. Like, I want
Right.
to be not this figurehead on that stage. Like,
Yeah.
well, he's somebody important. He's
Right.
you know, doing this or doing that. No, I want to be out there talking to people. I'll be honest, we go to the music festival, and I am lucky to know what they've sung.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
by the time I walk around and socialize with people and everything, I'm lucky to know what the songs are that was even sung.
Yeah, they may sing 4 or 5 of the same song.
Yeah,
But you never know.
I'll be honest, and I'm sure it's probably happened by now. As many different people as we've
Yeah.
had, I'm sure they've duplicated songs. I've never known it.
Right.
If it's happened, I've never known it. So
Yeah, and like you think about, like we did one in Bristol, and that location, you know, is a heavy homeless population, and so we got a cooler full of popsicles, you know, and man, that made all the difference in the world. Just to think about some of the little children that didn't have a place to live. Man, they's coming up. Some of them probably got about 4 or 5 popsicles, but hey, man, I mean, they was loving it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just something as simple as that we take so for granted.
Yeah.
You know, and just like when that event was over, we had probably a case of water worth still in the coolers, and you know, we could have took it with us and kept it for the next one, but we took it and handed it out, and I was giving 6 and 8 bottles
Yeah.
a piece to people, and you know, to us that was almost a nuisance thing because we'd have had to handle it and moved it and all that stuff.
Right.
But to them, it was a blessing because
yeah.
it was something they could truly use.
Absolutely, man. And think about this, you know, now yard sale, of course, a little different, but
Yeah.
these music festivals, this is not an Alvarado thing.
No.
You know, this is not a one-man operation. Like, any church can get involved in this. I wondered for years, like, you know, you hear outreach, you hear about all this stuff, but I always wondered, well, how can I actually do that? But, you know, these music festivals, for instance, that gives an opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just stamping one church's name on it. Like, everybody can get involved.
Well, you know, and that's always been the premise. Like, I've always been very cautious to make sure that we didn't put ourselves in a box. I've never wanted to put a church name on it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against any of the churches because we've had a few that has really helped support it and all.
sure.
And we're very appreciative. But at the end of the day, it's not about that church. It's about, you know,
Yeah.
unity. I mean,
Uniting
that's the
around the
whole,
gospel, yeah.
whole premise. And I have said for a long time, if churches could unite for just a day, like say 50% of the churches in our area, us being in the Bible Belt, 50% of churches is a lot of churches.
Right.
But could you imagine if they could all unite and get on one front, what kind of change could happen? Like that.
Absolutely.
That's where my whole heart with this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I do want to say right here, and I don't want to get negative because this is pretty positive so far, thank the Lord, you know, but I want to mention too, I know we have to be careful. I know we've got to have discernment and use wisdom and, you know, not link up with somebody that's, you know, preaching false doctrine. This,
No,
that, and the
absolutely.
Other, you know, but the thing about these events is anybody that, and we do have preaching at these events, but anybody that's preaching at these events, we make 100% sure that it's going to be a gospel focused message. You know, the secondary, third tier issues are not going to be mentioned or talked about, you know.
Well, and that's the premise, you know, because you've so far preached at all of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what we always tell anybody that we invite to preach is we're not looking for the secondary issues.
Right.
We're trying to reach the lost.
Right.
And that's it. And I think it's really easy to say that we all can agree and can come together on that, because if all we're doing is preaching about salvation, then that's, if anybody's there and supporting the event, we've already had that conversation and we all agree with what salvation is, and that's through Jesus alone, plus or minus nothing. So, I mean, if we've already agreed on that, we don't have to be too concerned about what's going to be said and everything.
Right.
Because exactly like you said, we don't want to be divisive. We want to be uniting. We want to bring the people together. So
why do you think that people sometimes will avoid church but respond to what we're doing out here in love?
honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to church hurt a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and like you say, we're not trying to go negative, and trust me, I'm sure at some point in time there will be church hurt episodes. Like,
yeah, it's good.
I think we're planning some of that kind of stuff, and maybe trying to get some extra guests and stuff like that to come on and talk about some things. But at the end of the day, it's a lot more comfortable when you can bring your own chair and you can get there when you want to and you can leave when you want
That
to.
too, yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. And you'll notice there'll be people come to listen to certain groups.
Yeah.
They'll come and they'll be there just for that one group, and that's fine.
Yes.
Because while they're there, somebody's going to say something. Like
Right.
somebody's going to testify or something. They're going to hear
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It's like a continuous just gospel.
Yeah.
You know. And I think something that to think about here is that whenever you come out here and, for instance, like you give them something, or you just have conversation, not even give them something, I think it says, you know, they actually care about me.
Yeah.
You know, they actually want to talk to me rather than just preach to me.
Yeah.
You know, I think that makes a huge difference too, because it's almost like some people think, well, the church just wants to preach down my throat, preach down my throat, preach down my throat. But when you actually genuinely have a conversation like, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
You know, what are y'all getting into later? Blah, 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 blah. You know?
And how much more does that give you opportunity to do those kind of conversations at one of those events than
Yes.
it does at church?
Absolutely.
Because,
it's
you know,
nearly impossible at church.
we've talked about it. And I mean, even like now in the current situation, like I'm not that busy in the church as far as the flow of it and stuff, but you get to talk to 2 or 3 people, but it's still hard just to mingle with that many people. Where an all-day event, you have time to actually get out there and mingle. So
Right. Well, let's cover this, and we'll try to wrap up here pretty quickly. But take somebody that's shy, for instance, that's got a very shy personality. Their personality is not really to be very open to talk to strangers, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How can they still make a difference and still get out and help?
you always need support,
Absolutely.
whether it's help set up, help tear down, pray over it. I mean, that's a key thing.
Yes.
If people get behind you and pray, you can tell the difference. But there's always room for everybody to help that wants to have part.
Right.
You know, you talk about that a lot, whether in a church setting, whether you're greeting people at the door, or in your case, you give out visitor bags, whether they're in a room back there by themselves stuffing visitor bags. Like,
Right.
it's still
It's
ministry, and it still helps. It still supports
Yes.
the whole goal. So, I mean, that's what we're after, you know, and that gives those kind of people that don't want to be in the spotlight, don't want to be in front of people, there's still opportunities for them to serve.
Yes, and a biblical example for this is Moses and Joshua. Joshua was out on the battlefield. You could picture that as he was the one amongst all the people. But Moses was in the background just holding his arms up. But what happened to Moses? Even the one that wasn't out there amongst the people, his arms got tired.
Mm.
But Aaron and Hur, and I like to say Aaron and Hurd, because I got an Aaron and a Hurd. But Aaron and Hur come and just lifted his arms up. That was ministry.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't have done that, Joshua could have died.
Yeah.
And that's how important it is. Even in the background, you can serve. You know, like a music festival, for instance, you know, there's constantly carrying water, carrying ice. There's constantly sound equipment that has to be ran that I definitely hate running because I'm not a technology guy. But man, there is a place to get involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes where the failure comes from that, and I'm not pointing at anybody,
Right.
but is sometimes they don't ask.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see
Yeah.
that somebody wants to help if they're not willing to just speak up.
Well, let's park right there for just a second. And I know we're supposed to close this down, but you know how this goes. But let's park, pull the e-brake for just a second. I struggle with that very thing. I know there's balance and everything, but I always struggle with, should I ask somebody to do it or should I wait for them to come to me to do it? And I will say, just as a pastor that, you know, just over the last few years has experienced this a little bit, I have found that a lot of people are waiting for you to ask.
Yeah.
I wish it was the other way around, that they come to you, but truth be told, I think a lot of times people are waiting just to be asked. Because here's the thing, especially if they're new, they don't really know what's going on, so they may think, well, they've already got that covered.
Yeah.
You know, and just like the other day, we had some new folks at the church, and they'd been there maybe a few weeks, and one morning I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and they just said, hey, is there anything we can do for you? And truth be told, I knew I was going to have to spend time to kind of help them do it. But I was like, if I tell them no, how crazy would I be?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Because here's the reality. Teaching them how to do it, that may save me down the road, number one, from having to do it again. But number two, it's also, if I tell them no, would they ever ask again?
Yeah. You shut them down,
Yeah.
especially them being new. You shut them down, and I mean that could probably even go as far as to drive them away.
Right. And it meant the world to me as a pastor that somebody, especially even new, noticed I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off and just said, is there anything I can do? I was like, I'd be crazy to tell them no.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
I love that. I love that. So, Jesus, he showed us the perfect balance. In everything that he did, I mean, obviously he was perfect.
Yes.
And so, let me ask you this question. I know that Jesus spent time with his disciples. I know that he spent time investing in people, as we should. But you also find Jesus going out. So, what do you think? Let's talk a little bit about the balance there. What shouldn't we make time for a small group, right? Like Jesus did. His
Absolutely.
disciples, that considered a small group. And even he had an even smaller group, the Peter, James, and John. But for a second here, let's talk about how we should balance, how we can balance that. We don't want to be all outreach.
Yeah.
We don't want to be all small group.
Yeah.
We don't want to be all church, no action. You know what I'm saying? There's a balance there.
Yeah. And I think it comes down to seeing what your current situation is. Like, I think with us, we're to that point. We've got enough people in the church, especially now, that are in that transition period of going from the milk to the meat.
Yeah.
And if we don't spend that time to get into those small groups, to minister and to disciple,
Right.
I mean, and that's what we're really doing, is trying to build disciples
Exactly.
with it. You have to put some emphasis on that, because at the end of the day, if we can use those small groups and we can build up 15 men,
Yes.
because the way that we're currently doing it is women's in their small groups, men are in
Right.
their small groups. And if we can build up 15 men, that each one of them just disciples to one or two and builds one or two more disciples.
Yes, sir.
I love what Josh Howerton says, is the one more mentality.
I like it.
We're going after one more. Now, he's in a church of 20,000 plus,
Yeah.
but they still keep that same mentality, one more.
Ain't that good?
We're going after our one more.
Yeah.
So, and I love that mentality. If we all just really dug deep and said, I'm going after one more, well, you get that one more and you get them in a good spot, well, then you've got time to go for one more.
Yes. And I seen this on a paper that Brother Eric, our youth leader, he was challenging the kids to each one reach one. Each one reach one.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. I love the mentality, because how many times have you got so caught up, well, I need to get this many.
Yeah,
I need to do something big and drastic.
Right. Make it about numbers kind of
But
thing.
but at the end of the day, how many times have we said, if we do an event, an outreach or something like that, if just one?
Just one.
Well, why do we have that mentality then? But then another time we think we've got to reach the multitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we went into everything with that just one more mentality,
Right.
I think we would see some change.
Right. And you know, these for instance, like a yard sale, obviously there's a goal in mind to raise money.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is all these things that we do, you can turn it into an evangelistic outreach.
Well, how crazy would you be not to?
Yes.
I mean, you're going to come out here, you're going to try to raise money for the youth.
Right.
Praise the Lord for the opportunity.
Yes.
But how crazy would you be to squander that and not share the gospel with people while it's here?
Right.
I mean, if you squander the opportunity, I mean, look at what you've missed. Like,
Yes.
we've probably already seen 40 people come through today.
Right.
And, I mean, if we missed that opportunity with every one of them, there's 40 missed opportunities.
Yes. And Jesus, you know, he didn't just feed the 5,000. He ministered to the 5,000.
Yeah,
You know, he fed them on top of that.
yeah,
So that it's making these events gospel centered.
yeah,
Making these yard sales gospel centered.
Yeah.
Everything about it, it's all gospel centered.
Well, you know, that's the one thing. If you can do that, you're never going to go wrong.
Right.
If you can put the gospel in the middle of it, you're never going to go wrong.
Right. That's like, now, this is obviously different. We're in a unique location there in Alvarado. So they have these different runs, they used to have, well, they still have all kinds of biking and all kinds of things. But for instance, like one run is like a 100-mile run. Now you was entering in that one this year, wasn't you?
There ain't nothing big enough to chase me to make me try to run 100 miles.
Oh, okay. You're getting in the 50.
I don't know about that either.
Okay. Well, anyway, these folks come out and they try to run 100 miles, right? And now, don't ask me. I don't know. But here's the thing. So many of them, their family will come and they'll park. And now I'll be honest with you. At one time, we were actually closing off the church parking lot because we didn't want nobody in our parking lot. But do you know how big of a missed opportunity that is?
Yeah,
So I was like, man, if they're going to use the parking lot, we can come out there and we can love on them.
no,
We went out there last year, cranked up the music. We got a table full of snacks and drinks and everything you could think of. Now, it didn't cost them a dime to get it.
yeah,
Now, we made an investment, but you know, we was investing in people's lives.
but, and I mean, I was blessed to get to be a part of that last year. But look, you made an investment and God give it back.
He did.
God give it right back to you.
He did.
And I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's why you go into things, and that's
Right.
not the mindset you go.
Right.
But when you go in with the right intentions, like, I think that's just a perfect example of how God sent it right back to you.
Yes.
And blessed the church. And I mean, just the conversations we got to have with a few of the people, and just how many thank yous we've got and everything, and just people appreciating. That's just the church loving on people.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, I feel like that's what the church should be doing. And I'm glad that we're in a time and a season in our personal walks to where we're starting to realize some of these opportunities.
Yes, yes.
You know, so that we're not, like you say, just being like, well, I wish they wasn't doing that. They're messing up the parking lot. They're blocking up the parking lot. Well, if they put a little trash in the parking lot, we'll go pick it up. Like,
Yes.
it ain't that big a deal. Like, you know, I would rather minister to the people and be out there. And look how much fun we had.
Oh, dude. I
Like,
mean,
even though they wasn't always runners, there was several of us from the church there, and we just
Yeah.
cutting up, having a good time.
yes.
And
And it turns out it was a very good thing that we was there.
yeah,
Because
some of those people acted like they were in pretty rough shape when they got to us.
I mean, 100 miles. I think that'd be a pretty rough shape after about 5 or 6. Maybe 2 or 3.
5 or 6 tenths.
Yeah, maybe I'm trying to sound more athletic.
but no, all jokes aside, like, and what blew my mind is the caffeine. I mean, I know this is nothing here nor there for the
Yeah.
podcast, but it's like, that's the one thing that blew my mind. They got to a certain point, and that's what they were asking for. They didn't care what it was, what form it was.
Yeah.
Do you have anything with caffeine?
That was wild.
And it blew my mind.
It was just wild. We was there from daylight till after dark.
Yeah.
And I mean, now that makes for a long day, and I know some people came in shifts and this, that, and the other, but man, what an opportunity.
Yeah. So much so we're planning on doing 2 of them this year.
Yes, and on top of that, rather than just like bringing snacks and stuff like that, we're gonna grill out this time. So we're gonna give them a cookout.
Yeah. Give them some protein to go with that caffeine.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna have some hot dogs and some hamburgers, and it's gonna make for a good time.
Yeah.
The families that were there supporting their runners, man, we had so many compliments of, man, I'm enjoying y'all's music, and see, how many times have we said, man, these people are gonna hate this?
Yeah.
they're going to be so mad that we're set up.
They're going to come tell us turn our music down.
Yeah, never did.
No, people just thoroughly enjoyed it, and they appreciated seeing that somebody cared for people.
Yes.
Because some of those runners, I think the one guy was all the way from California.
Yes.
Out here running in it, and it's when families are around and they've traveled that far, it means something to them that there's somebody there trying to take care of people.
Absolutely. So, not to cut it short here, I know we could go on and on, but we got to get back to some yard selling.
Get back to the yard selling before everybody throws us under the bus.
Exactly. So the main goal of this podcast is just to encourage somebody to get out there. I have found it. I have found this. I want to say this. When you're by yourself, I will say it is a little more difficult. It is easier to go out with somebody. Even Jesus showed us that. He sent the disciples out 2 by 2. So, I mean, I know it's easier, but we're just saying, hey, get out there and do something.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for somebody to get involved with, obviously, we have events and stuff like that you can get involved. We just try to keep the main thing.
Absolutely. And if you're in a situation or a place that there's not something going on, maybe pray about it. Maybe God will lay it on your heart that
Start something.
it's time to start something. And I mean,
And it don't have to be nothing fancy.
no, nothing we do's fancy.
Right.
I mean, it sounds fancy that we have music festivals, but at the end of the day, they're just kind of down home get-togethers. I mean, really, we don't promote it as anything. We're not trying to get this high-dollar person on stage to announce everything. Like, we're just simple people just trying to do God's work.
And maybe we shouldn't cover this because we're doing good, running well so far. But I think one thing to keep in mind is methods change, but the message don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, some have went out and just kind of got a blowhorn, and I'm not against street preaching. I'm not against blowhorns or whatever. But I'm just going to tell you, in the society that we live in, you're probably going to get a better response when you have something to give along with it,
Yeah.
Now, I know somebody's going to say, I got the best thing to give. That's the gospel, which you're right, I know. But
just like we said a few minutes ago, sometimes you got to give something to be able to give something.
yes, and that's not hating on street preaching or anything like that. It's just the society we live in.
Yeah.
And
People today just want to be loved on.
they do.
Because, and I hope this doesn't give us a negative spin right here at the very end and cause us to have a crash landing or anything. But just look at our society and how many people lives in homes that there's no happiness, no joy. Children are in situations where their parents are gone, or it's so rampant today.
Yeah.
That why do we want to beat them over the head some more? Like, no, we want to love on them.
Yeah, give them a hug.
Yeah, exactly.
Spiritually speaking.
Or physically, if that's what's needed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's just loving people, man. Getting out there and doing something, trying to make a difference.
And if anybody's looking for the scriptural tie-in, everybody's best known verse, John 3:16, for he so loved.
Yeah.
And if he loved and we're supposed to do what he does, shouldn't we be out here loving on people too?
Right, absolutely. So we've just, it's an encouraging day. These days, man, they are tiring.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, a lot of times you don't even feel it, just because you're so excited that God's given you an opportunity to reach somebody.
But you know what the best part about these half-day kind of events are?
What's that?
That Holy Ghost nap when you get home.
Oh, come on. Amen. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I've had a T-shirt designed for years in my mind, and all I wanted to say on the back is Sundays are for Jesus and naps.
Hey, man, I love that. I love that. Yep, that's about all I get done on Sunday.
Going to church and napping,
Yeah.
and hopefully you find a bite to eat somewhere there in the middle.
Exactly. But no, we appreciate you tuning in today, and we do have some exciting episodes coming up. We're going to do some interviews. We've got some subjects to talk about down the road, the church hurt, different things like that, and that'll come along with some interviews, and that'll probably be a longer, longer series, longer segment. But we just wanted to pop in today and just share a little bit about outreach and how important it is, and encourage you to get out there and do something. Give the gospel, pass out a tract, pass out an invitation. Just do something. Love on people, man. God will use you.
Oh yeah.
Just make yourself available.
Did you notice last night that there was a tract there in the parking lot
Where at?
of the Romans Road there at the Pizza Inn when we were eating?
I did not.
And had it been regular trash, I would have probably been over and picked it up. But I was like, that might be laying there for somebody, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it laying there.
Amen. Amen. That's
But
right.
you know, and I think that's kind of a dying thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it. There for a long time, everywhere you went, there was tracks laying everywhere and stuff. But I think we've almost got away from that too much.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that something laying around can encourage somebody when there's not somebody there to do the encouraging.
Right. And this may or may not be important, but the invitations, the little tracks we have, they're little square, big enough to fit in your pocket. That's also a good strategy too,
Yeah.
because when you got something big, it's harder to.
That
You know.
and they're not going to read a book. Don't give them a book.
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true, because
I-
the Bible's out there, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I have seen those tracks in the past. It's like 18, 20 pages, and
Yeah.
it's like you might have one or two that's going to actually sit and flip through it and read it.
Right.
But most of them's going to be like, I ain't got time for this.
That's like one. I remember growing up, Mom had this thing. I don't remember where we got it, but it was something as simple as this. It said on the outside, "Who does Jesus love?" And you open it up, and there was a mirror in there. Something that simple.
Yeah,
But as a
absolutely.
kid, I loved that thing, man.
Yeah.
It was so clear, so simple. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amen. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the episode today, and stay tuned for more. And until next time, keep it between the ditches.
Love y'all.